How do people develop self-esteem? Two different ways, essentially, that self-esteem can be developed. One is the nature nurture path. The other is the testing and challenge path. And when I say nature nurture path, I mean you won the lottery with the nature nurture path. But even people who have had advantages in life, who had a leg up, they typically feel as though they got one or the other. They didn't get both. And some people feel like they got the short end of the stick in both nature and nurture. Some people come into life with very difficult circumstances at a very young age, all the way across the board. And that's leads to testing and challenging. It's very easy to say, oh, that person must have had the nature nurture lottery. But unless you really know them one-on-one, most people are not going to come out and tell you their life story and all of the ups and downs they had. So let's talk about testing and challenging. That is probably one of the best ways to build self-esteem. But if you refuse to engage the testing and challenging, you won't get the benefits of the testing and challenging, meaning you won't build the self-esteem. So it'll be low. Or if you just don't know how to do it, that makes it a lot harder to get the benefits of the testing and challenging too. Self-esteem, at the end of the day, comes through experience. And not just experience, but being able to engage and learn from and extract wisdom from those experiences so that the next time you're a little bit smarter, you're a little bit sharper, you're a little bit more capable of engaging the experience and making it an enjoyable one. Learning how to find enjoyment in life is part of self-esteem. The difficulty in building the self-esteem happens when you don't want to engage the difficult experiences, when we try to avoid them. And I know, believe me, I've done my share of that. And what's funny about that, the situations that scare us the most are also the ones where we have the most to gain from engaging them. Fear and love have this really interesting relationship together. It's like we can sense how much we will love our life on the other side of taking that action and adopting those behaviors and making those commitments. We can sense how much we are going to love it and how different it will make our life be. And on an unconscious level, we can actually become afraid of having that much love in our life. What if we lose it? We become afraid of getting it and losing it, or we become afraid of who will I be if I am that person, or what or who will I lose if I become that person. Fear and love, they're like opposite hands of the same person, but they lead to very different outcomes depending on which one you choose to lean into. I'm not saying it's going to be easy all the time. I'm just saying you get a different outcome depending on which one you go with. That's all. Let's talk a little bit about the testing and challenging. It's uncomfortable. Just like when someone that you depend on or someone that you respect or someone that you love or value, when they challenge you, it's uncomfortable. They might get mad. You might get mad. It's uncomfortable. That's why it's a test. That's why it's a challenge. That's why it calls you to step it up in a way. And sometimes little things can be really uncomfortable because of all these other associations and sensations and things that we feel are on the other side of that represent. And then other times, really big stuff can feel small. Depends on the person, depends on the thing, depends on the situation, depends on the time. All about the testing and the challenging. If you refuse to engage, if you hide in your home, if you refuse to connect with other people, if you refuse to let people see you, you're not going to have the benefit of the testing and challenging, which can grow your self-esteem. Or if you just don't know how to do it effectively, self-esteem very much is linked to our belief systems. And you'll find a lot of articles and tutorials on how to do that online. And you can do that. However, I will add to that, trying to do it yourself is going to take a lot more time than working with someone who specializes and knows how to challenge your beliefs to get those belief systems that are holding you back, to get them to collapse. So if you can work with someone who knows how to get those destructive belief systems that are holding you back to collapse, you can make progress so much faster. That's what I love about this. That's what I find so fascinating about self-esteem. It boils down to your belief system. Your self-esteem can change rapidly. You can progress very quickly. You do not have to spend your whole life struggling with your self-esteem. You don't have to spend years struggling with your self-esteem. Belief systems can change like that. Now, there may be multiple belief systems that need to be challenged, collapsed, changed, altered in order to get you to the place where you would like to be in life, but it can happen so quickly. It can happen so quickly. The best way to find yourself is to get lost first. That's sort of my motto. Tricks are not just for kids. I think that it would be very silly to say, if you think you are one of those people that won the nature and the nurture lottery, I would love to talk to you, ask you some questions, pick your brain a little bit just to see what that was like for you. I mean, self-esteem at the end of the day, bottom line, I love bottom lines. That's all.